I'm Zunaira Azhar, and you're watching Epicenter, where we dissect, analyze, and help define major domestic and global stories. As Pakistan grapples with grave challenges, the government alliance appears to be primarily concerned with self-preservation and party-centric actions. The media attraction, too, is heavily concentrated on PTI and the recent arrest of former DG ISI General Faiz Hamid that has given the political situation another multifaceted twist. There are also speculations within the coalition government suggesting that these developments might continue to leading to implicate former Chief Justice of Pakistan, Saqib Nisar, as well. Amidst challenges in all the realms of national security, where is Pakistan headed? To discuss this, we have been joined by senior journalist and political analyst, Mr. Shaukat Paracha, and we have also been joined by Senator Humayun Mahmood from PTI. Welcome both of my guests to this show. Shaukat, let me begin with you. Imran Khan's initial response was to distance himself from Faiz Hamid's arrest, calling it Army's internal matter. Later, he called for an open trial of the court-martial proceedings, and then he alleged that the retired general was being coerced into turning into an approver against him, suggesting a potential trial for himself in a military court related to cases involving the May 9 riots. This is indeed unprecedented, but how do you look at this multifaceted inquiry, because it has given the entirely new dimension to the political affairs in Pakistan?
Thank you so much. Many congratulations and wishing all the best for your venture, this show actually.
Thank you.
There is no doubt that this has been one of the most important developments. As you said, unprecedented one. Most important mean that maybe the government is trying to get something which can link PTI founder Imran Khan with some kind of activities which are not permissible and the laws of the land, for example, 9th of May. As a relevant example, I must quote, when the mobile phone of Mr. Rauf Hassan, the information secretary or the spokesman of PTI, was taken by the investigator after a raid on PTI office, then there are daily based stories. One day it was his conversation with Karan Thapar, the famous renowned Indian journalist or analyst or anchor person. And then you have seen yesterday there were also some quotes from his conversation with Alima Khan, the sister of Mr. Imran Khan. So if the investigators, and in the case of Field General Court Martial, the investigators are necessarily the military personnel. If in the Field General Court Martial, if anything can be extracted or obtained from the forensic or from his former DG ISI Lieutenant General Faiz Hamid Saab, if anything can be obtained from him in terms of certain evidence of whatsoever the cases have been, then I believe the government will be very happy. However, we all are talking, we all journalists, media analysts are talking on the basis of one two-paragraph press release by the ISPR.
The second paragraph.
The first paragraph was about the toxicity, on the basis of which this investigation started on the order of the Supreme Court on 24th of April this year. The second paragraph is a bit more meaningful because it says multiple violations of Military Act in the post-retirement era, they are established. So the initial inquiry conducted by military itself, in that inquiry, certain violations of the Military Act in the post-retirement phase, these violations are established. So one stage of the inquiry is completed.
Okay.
Now, all our speculation that whether he can be coerced to be an approver against Imran Khan or his trial should be open. Field General Court Martial is never open. Everybody believes so. I don't know about Dr. Senator Saab, his interpretation or his observation or his comments, but if that evidence obtained from Lieutenant General Faiz Hamid Saab is any way linked to Imran Khan, then obviously Imran Khan will also be in more troubled waters.
Right. Dr. Humayun, same question to you. It is indeed a very multifaceted twist in the political domain of Pakistan. As a senator of PTI, how do you look at what is worrying your leader, that this might lead to his military trial? Dr. Humayun, can you hear me? Okay, I believe there is some technical problem and we cannot hear Dr. Humayun very well. It's you're stuck with me, Mr. Paracha, for today. It's you and me one-on-one. So let's take it forward. What's happening in PTI is also being discussed in the media. It seems that every news cycle, every single day, it's all about PTI. There are so many fault lines. One, I would like you to comment on that. Do we know for sure that whatever Imran Khan says come out as it is? And two, what is do you see problems in the channel of communication? Because there are so many assertions, there are so many statements coming out at the same time, and then there is this audio leak by his sister regarding whatever disinformation Imran Khan's wife is spreading. So how do you look at this communication and miscommunication within PTI?
To begin with, for example, the postponement of their Islamabad rally on 22nd August, there is no miscommunication because multiple sources coming out from Imran Khan, I mean the leaders who met him and then spoke outside, they all confirmed that this rally was postponed or cancelled by Imran Khan himself.
All right.
And his sister Alima Khan also said so. Adam Khan Sawati said so. And the Chief Minister KP, Mr. Ali Amin Gandapur also said so. So there is no contradiction whatsoever among any leaders who came out and said that this rally is cancelled on the instruction of Imran Khan. So no doubt about it. The controversy is whether Imran Khan was feeded by his own leader the correct perspective on the basis of which he decided to get this rally postponed.
Do you think the right perspective was presented before him?
I mean, it looks very odd for me to comment whether Ali Amin Khan Gandapur, when he conveyed this message that the rally should not be held, whether he was not correct or he was incorrect, or should I say that Azam Khan Swati Saab was not correct, because on the second day, on the following day, because this is after midnight, so after the morning, let me put this way,
in the very early hours of the day.
Yeah, after early hours of this morning, there was to be another demonstration of religious parties, multiple of them, not one political party, outside the Supreme Court of Pakistan. That was not a demonstration, but since there was a hearing of a very sensitive case, so all of them, they planned to be there. I think this message was conveyed by the leadership to Imran Khan that since they are coming, there are containers outside every entrance and exit of the city. So this might have been like this, better to get it cancelled. But having said that, there are two opinions in PTI now. One opinion is very happy that at least, a message from establishment was finally conveyed.
So some communication channel is at least working, so they are happy about it.
Yeah, yeah, they are happy about it, yes. Yes.
And the other faction?
Yes, the other, like Alima Khan, she's not happy, and after her meeting or her statement, which was in audio, I think this perspective also was heard by Imran Khan, and that's why the other day he told his followers, his leaders, the other leaders, that even if I am quoted as having said of cancelling any rally, you should not believe and you should come for the rally. Now there are two rallies planned.
Isn't it too confusing? It seems as if it is impossible to understand who is saying what and from what authenticity. This is really confusing for the supporters, because the other day I was looking at television and people were really furious that why this rally was cancelled, and they are not ready to believe, no matter what you say.
There should, excuse me, there should not be any confusion about the authenticity of both these perspectives.
Okay.
Both these perspectives are not misquoted.
Okay.
They are rightly misquoted, quoted by Imran Khan, because as a principle that I have or you have of being a journalist, we do not trust one source. We always have double, triple check.
Double check it.
So one person is saying something, second person saying something, third person saying something after meeting with Imran Khan, then they are true. Three of them, they are not lying.
Let's take a short commercial break here. Stay with us. And that's a separate matter, that who is happy and who is not happy. That is a separate matter. Okay, I'll bring you to PTI's performance inside the parliament. It seems like they are very specific about one agenda, and that is Imran Khan specific. They want to build the pressure inside and outside the parliament that he should be released as early as possible. We all know, you said we are journalists, we double check, we triple check, and we keep on checking stuff. We all know the kind of response we have been getting from the establishment, the state of the trials. He is not coming out anytime soon. Do you think there is a denial about this in the PTI's leadership?
That's a very important question, because PTI is having a triple role at the moment. Number one, they are part of the parliament. They contested all elections within the parliament: Prime Minister, Speaker, Deputy Speaker, Chairman Senate, Deputy Chairman Senate, President. So all the proceedings of the parliament, they are actually part of the parliament. I mean, there have been voices that we should submit resignation, we should come out from the parliament. No, they said no, we are in the parliament, and to me that's a very right strategy.
Of course.
That at
Finally,
least
they have learned
you
it.
have a platform. Finally, they have learned it. Very rightly put in this way. But at the same time, the second challenge is equally being within the parliament. When a person on the name of whom they got elected, they got that much votes, if he is consistently and constantly in prison, then what you have to do in the parliament if your leader is not there? You have not been able to put pressure on the government or negotiate with the government for any concession or any relief for your leader. So on that point, they have failed. They have failed because they follow multiple strategies, one leader contradicting the other leader, the second leader contradicting the third leader. For a PTI follower, please keep in mind, this is a party which revolves around Imran Khan.
Oh yes,
the votes
absolutely.
are on the name
Top
of
down,
Imran
yeah,
Khan.
it's only Imran Khan.
Yeah. I mean, it's from bottom to top. It's only Imran Khan. So if you're being in the parliament and being the largest political party in the parliament, in the National Assembly so far, even yesterday, there were numbers being shown, 89 or 99 are they, and then the government cluster of many other partners. In terms of the single largest party, they are the largest party, but the leader of the largest party is still in prison. This is second challenge. The third challenge is that they have also been lacking a unity in their discipline, party discipline. Look at statements against each other. Sher Abdul Marwat talking something else.
And that endorses your first point, that because this party is all about one person, so there was never a second-tier leadership or a third-tier leadership to take care of the affairs.
There are many leaders. I mean, there are many politicians in this party, but since the person of Imran Khan is so charismatic for them, that they don't bother second tier or third tier
so leadership. They don't want to double guess anything that might offend their leader later on. Yeah, totally understandable. Okay, let me bring you towards the coalition government. What are they up to? And suddenly President Zardari met Maulana Fazlur Rahman yesterday. And just a day before that, in fact, there was a meeting between PTI and Maulana Fazlur Rahman, and they agreed to be sort of a joint opposition. What is going on?
That's a very interesting development. And yesterday, I was having my own show, and I termed it the biggest political news in the current political context.
True. Finally, Maulana is back in the game.
Maulana is on the top of the game now. You know, everyone always leading to his house, you know, that PTI is first. Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif went a few weeks back. Then PTI has been consistently visiting him somewhere in Peshawar, in DI Khan, and here in Islamabad. So that was part of the routine, but from the head of the state,
yes,
at the moment,
that's really symbolic.
He is head of the federation, you know, and he is going to meet him, and he is. My inside story is that President asked him to play a role for resolving the crisis that we are through which. So, President of Pakistan is accepting and acknowledging that there is a crisis in the country.
One, we have crisis, and two, they need Maulana Fazlur Rahman's help. It's a confession, in my opinion.
We all, you know, including Maulana Fazlur Rahman, you know. So, Maulana Fazlur Rahman, and third thing is that, trust me, if there is Maulana Fazlur Rahman and if there is a head of movement for protection of the constitution, I mean Tehreek-e-Tahafuz-e Pakistan, Mahmood Khan Achakzai, I still believe that they have far more better relations with Asif Ali Zardari and Mian Nawaz Sharif as compared to
PTI.
Any leader in PTI.
Yeah, true.
Yes,
true.
Mahmood
but
Khan
they did try. I want you to comment on that brief period where they were getting close, PTI and Maulana Fazlur Rahman and Achakzai. We were really surprised, and then we have been discussing in our talk shows with multiple people that why nobody is approaching Maulana, because he is an important figure when it comes to the internal and external security of Pakistan, to be honest. So finally, has this been about the constitutional amendment that the government is planning and the joint session, or there is suddenly this sanity is prevailing and looming in the coalition government that we cannot let PTI get away with agitation in the streets, including Achakzai and Maulana Fazlur Rahman?
As far as amendment in the constitution is concerned, as far as I know, the amendment in the joint session is not for amendment in the constitution.
Mm-hmm.
For amendment in the constitution, as per Article 239 Clause 1, I repeat, as per Article 239 Clause 1, any constitutional amendment has to be introduced separately in both houses of the parliament.
Right.
It can be initiated in any house. It can be initiated in the Senate, or it can be initiated in the National Assembly of Pakistan.
But
and
before that,
secondly,
they need the magic number as well?
224 in the National Assembly.
Right. So do you think,
and the government,
do you think
and the
President is going to
moment,
play a role in that as well?
President is part of a political party which is part of the coalition, not in terms of the cabinet, but in terms of the political dispensation at the moment.
But he's calling the shots, apparently.
Actually, last time when he was president of Pakistan in 2008 to 2013, he was more powerful because his party was ruling. His party had the cabinet. This time, they do not have the cabinet. They do not have their own prime minister. But still, you know, this role, the initiative that he took last night, I was waiting for long because he is the man equally political competent as Maulana Fazlur Rahman is. These two are the gentlemen or the politician at the moment, you know, in Pakistan. I rate very high that they have political mind. I'm not saying that no other one is wise enough.
But the kind of maneuvers that he does based on that, you're right.
Yes. So his initiative, and I tell you one more thing, this will not stop here. Mind my words.
Yes. I'm going to write your words and I'm going to stamp mine as well on it, because I see that going in a very different direction here on, and that's why there is this radio silence from the coalition government, because something is cooking.
Now, let me put my, prediction. Now, I believe Mr. Mia Nawaz Sharif will also visit Maulana Fazlur Rahman one day, soon or little late. I cannot have time frame with me.
Right.
And then I can also foresee a big table, dining table in the presidency, in the big White Hall, where all these people...
A Shaya or a Zohrana coming up.
Coming, maybe dinner, a Shaya, and they all will be smiling, chatting, and they will be talking about, how they accomplished this uphill task of dismantling or minimizing the impacts of PTI and moving forward somewhere.
Absolutely. Do you think PTI still needs to learn how to do politics in Pakistan?
They are not doing bad in doing politics.
I mean, they were very close to forming an alliance with JUIF and Achakzai.
Yeah.
They could have, they did not. Sorry to interject here. Let me complete. They did not try to join Jamaat-e-Islami either when they were on the roads, because that was a very that was something that was very close to the people of Pakistan. The issue, the cost of living, electricity bills, and all that. They did not try to tap that potential as well. So they are actually fixated on getting their leader released rather than rallying all the parties who are out of the government at the moment and then gain some momentum towards whatever they want to achieve.
I think they've been doing the same what you are cherishing of. You cherish a broader opposition alliance, and they tried, and they are still trying. In your eyes, in my eyes, it could be slow one. They should have acted fast.
Yeah.
Because, bringing some political parties under the fold of Tehreek-e-Tahafuz-e-Ain Pakistan and elevating Mahmood Khan Achakzai and putting him as candidate of presidentship when the presidential election were held in Pakistan, that is something very unusual of PTI.
Yeah.
PTI doesn't take along anyone. You have talked about Jamaat-e-Islami. Jamaat-e-Islami was part of their coalition government in KPI, and then they parted away.
Yeah.
Sherpaw, Aftab Ahmed Khan Sherpaw was part of the coalition government in KPK, then they parted away. Putting Sherpaw and Jamaat-e-Islami, their opponents, putting them in the opponent camps, as Aftab Ahmed Khan Sherpaw then became part of the PDM-1 government.
Yeah.
So they are not very welcoming to forging alliances. But this time, look at the visits of Mr. Asad Kaisar and others, Senator Shibli Farad and others to Maulana Fazlur Rahman.
And even the way
met him multiple times.
Even the way the Chief Minister of KP is behaving, that is also very different from his past trajectory. Very interesting conversation, Mr. Shaukat Paracha. Your last brief comments on what are you foreseeing in the coming 2-3 months? Do you see former Chief Justice Saqib Nisar meeting the same fate as DGISI Faiz Hamid?
When we compared who is now a retired general with former Chief Justice of Pakistan, to me, these are two different institutions, two different entities. No Chief Justice have been tried in Pakistan, but you can say no former DGISI has also been put in prison either, Yeah. But this institution of armed forces cannot be made compatible with the institution of judiciary or the Supreme Court. The judges, once they are retired, And for their accountability, Supreme Judicial Council is there, which investigates when they are in the service, when they are part of the judges, panel, when they are serving. However, in military, anyone can be tried anytime, whatsoever has been
even
done
after retirement.
By him.
Right.
And this Top City case was not in the post-retirement era. The Top City scandal being investigated erupted when General Faiz Hamid Saab was in service.
Yeah.
And this multiple violations of the Military Act were committed and now established when he was retired. But in case of judiciary, there is no such mechanism.
So it's mere speculations. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it could be on some charges, you never know.
You never know. That's the right answer.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shaukat Paracha, for joining us. Let's take a short break. And let's get to our global story for this week. Kamala Harris has declared solid support for Israel upon accepting the Democratic Party nomination this week and has faced withdrawal of her support from a very major prominent Muslim group. Looking at the most recent nationwide polling figures, Harris is at approximately 49%, while Trump is around 47%. The race remains tight. What should we expect from the next 2+ months towards the U.S. presidential election? Let me bring in our guest to discuss this. We have been joined by Dr. Hamid Khan, who is a political analyst joining us from the UK. And from Dubai, we have been joined by Mr. Sajid Tharer, who is a Republican and a former advisor to President Trump as well. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining my show today. Dr. Hamid, let me begin with you. Taken as a whole, Kamala Harris's acceptance speech at the Democratic Convention this week positioned her as a center-left Democrat, just like Joe Biden rather than, I would say, Bernie Sanders. Almost the exact phenomena that happened in UK election as well, when Labour took a more centrist position, center-left position. With this old Biden kind of a Democrat posture, what are Kamala Harris's chances of becoming the first female president of US?
Yeah, thank you very much, Zunaira. Actually, the position which Kamala Harris took in relation to Israel relations and to defending them is not surprising, because we have seen the way Joe Biden have continuously supported ongoing genocide by Israeli for the last 8-9 months now. And we have seen, that it is because of the strong lobby, Jewish lobby within Congress and in America as well. But as far as the public reaction is concerned, I still believe that, there will be, on the other hand, there will be reaction from the public while they will go for the vote. And it will help Trump to make it, to win the election. Although the surveys are saying very tight margin, I do understand that. But we have seen, it always gets changes when it comes to the swing states, when it comes to the final last 2 weeks. So, I mean, there is no certain or there is no very clear situation as far as the possible results of the upcoming American elections are concerned. I'm not surprised from the stance because Kamala Harris definitely wanted to get more sympathies or more votes from the Jewish lobby and the people who support the Jewish narrative. But at the same time, we have seen the largest movement in terms of students in Chicago
Even when
and
the
other
convention
states.
started, there were a lot of people who were gathered outside, and they were actually saying "Killer Kamala" and all that, and they were had to be taken care of by the police. So yes, there was a reaction.
Definitely. I mean, that's what I believe that the American public in general, they are very much against what is happening in Israel, especially in Gaza, and the way they have killed over 40,000 innocent Palestinians. And I mean, I think people would give their verdict in terms of giving the vote. At the moment, yes, there is one thing very important, and that the Trump stance is not very clear about Israel's status and about two-state solution. That will be the question which must be asked from the both candidates now, that what is their opinion and what they will do about the two-state solution for the resolution of the Israel-Palestine issue. Because if they will be clear with it, that will be their policy statement. So as far as carrying on the supporting Israel, I think the both will say the similar things. But it depends on how they explain their stance on two-state solution. That is very important. And on the ceasefire, immediate ceasefire, what is their plan? These are the 2-3 questions which are very much concerned in terms of their policy towards Israel. Secondly,
to be honest,
say that
I don't understand how this even remains relevant, that while there are talks mediated by US on ceasefire, Kamala Harris categorically said that I would completely support Israel's right to defend itself. I mean, what is left to mediate after that?
That's very sad.
So yeah, this is quite
indeed
dubious. I would say let's bring in our other guest, Mr. Tarer, as well. Mr. Tarer, it is surprising for me and for many observers as well that usually the foreign policy issues are not at the forefront of such conventions. But Harris laid out a tough agenda on defense and foreign policy, promising to maintain the strong and lethal fighting force in the world. Regarding US, she said, retain our leading position in NATO, defend Ukraine against Russia, stand up against Iran and North Korea, and take democracy's side in the struggle with tyranny. Yet she ignored the elephant in the room, the Gaza. What do you think?
Let me give you some points where Kamala Harris stands at this moment. This is Kamala Harris. First of all, I have to tell you, Kamala Harris is confused. She's nervous, and she has no clue what is going on. And let me explain how. About exactly 4 or 5 days ago, when she was heckled by some of the sympathizers, the Gaza sympathizers, she suddenly jumped into it that she will embargo Israel. She will stop the ammunition. In the same evening, the Biden administration gave $20 billion package to Israel. That is one position. Second thing is this. In Chicago, in DNC, there's organizations called Women for Kamala Harris. They wanted to come on a stage and speak about it. They were not permitted to do it. But at her acceptance speech, she said that she will support Israel to have a right of defense. At the same time, she has condemned the 40,000 killing. So the thing is, she is confused. She has no clue where she go. And there are 700,000 Democrats undecided right now at this moment. And it seems like they will be voting towards Donald Trump. At least he has a clear vision, and he believes in that Israel has to finish whatever they're doing, they have to finish and go back. That's what his stand is. But at this moment, if you personally see, Donald Trump has given many jabs after this DNC. First of all, there's a term is called the honeymoon period. Right now, after the convention, Kamala Harris is enjoying a hike in her polls. But Donald Trump has gone to the border, and he has criticized her position being a border czar. Plus, at the same time, many other issues he has brought up. And it seems like it's a tough thing. It's a very tough right now, especially endorsement from Kennedy and the governor of Georgia. He looks strong. And people, you will see it after a couple of weeks. Kamala Harris will be, her poll will be slipping again. So at the moment, if you personally, if you talk about the foreign policy is not the Democrat Party's. It's above their pay grade, matter of fact. Foreign policy, defense, strong defense. It's a Republican philosophy. Donald Trump had a doctrine, achieving peace through scent.
Like we could see all the Obamas and Clintons all coming to support her, and yet it lacked the main essence, the biggest issue of the day. Gaza was missing.
Definitely, I definitely agree with you. Gaza was not properly addressed. Matter of fact, that war is expanding. Today, Israel attacked Lebanon right now, and then Lebanon has fired 200 missiles this morning. So there are chances this war will be getting out of the hands. Iran has no choice right now to retaliate and protect their proxies. Matter of fact, they have to come out and support Hezbollah at this moment. And seems like Biden administration is nowhere on the page. So it will be very difficult for her to create a distance in between her, Obama, and Biden. So it seems like it will be a tough situation. Donald Trump looks strong because the world is burning, and the China and Russia alliance is strong, and you have seen it. It looks like it will be a tough call. Donald Trump has a very strong shot winning this election.
Right. Dr. Hamid, it seems to me as if the Democrats are in denial of many facts. I say this because out of the last 16 years, Democrats have been in Oval Office for 12 years. That gives them a very obvious edge over the issues and also some kind of confidence, I would say. At the same time, there is this continuous avoidance at Harris's part that she is not facing media. She is not directly talking to the voters because those who come to the conventions are basically the supporters. They have already decided who they are going to vote for. So she is basically relying all the good star-studded stuff on that teleprompter, and there is going to be a debate in late September. Do you agree to this observation that they are actually, maybe, let's put it this way, they're overconfident about it because they have a legacy, 12 years legacy behind them. The current scenario of the entire Jewish lobby is in their favor. So maybe they feel they don't have to do much.
Yes, I think at some point that is the right thing that, I mean, they are overconfident. The reason I'm saying overconfident is, I mean, if you look at deeply towards American politics, I mean, people change their decisions even in the last weeks of elections, even in the last 3 days of the election. We have seen, I mean, the change in swing states. We have seen, I mean, very important thing is that how, I mean, what is the policy they're going to bring in terms of for their own people. I mean, Kamala Harris is not very well clear when they talk about the health insurance policies.
Even
she's not very well clear about.
She did not once talk about
even inflation. Yes, that is what I was going to about the inflation, about the unemployment, and then the Mexico border crisis, and then other crises. So it is. There are many factors where Kamala Harris has to come out with a policy which has to attract even to Democrats as well. I mean, it's not. Let's think about that. The Democrats are again the local American people where they will think about the betterment of themselves. I mean, yes, there is a very clear, difference between Republicans and Democrats, and they vote for their certain ideologies. But at the same time, now American thinks about themselves as well. They do not war, and they don't want any more wars. And Democrats have the history of putting America into wars all the time in the last 20 years.
Are they actually willing?
Avoided the war.
Are they actually willing to support Israel at the cost of their new generation that is coming back on the campuses now that the holidays are over, and at the cost of Arab American vote, and not only Arab American, all the Americans who support human rights? So are they not bothered about it?
That is the main concern, that if they are relying too much on the Jewish lobby and on the Jewish, votes, or on the Jewish, ideology, then it will cost them a lot in terms of losing the votes from their upcoming generations and their new, the students. That is the risk which they have to calculate as well. At the same time, I will say that, even President Trump has to be more vocal about the issue. He has.
Let's talk to Mr.
Statement,
Tarar about it. Mr. Tarar, we are coming to the end of our show. Do you think that Donald Trump is more clear on the issue of Gaza as compared to the Democrats?
Donald Trump is not only more clear on the Gaza issue, Donald Trump is more clear towards Russia and China policy at the same time. And he was, matter of fact, in the past when he was a president, when he was in the White House, he has taken China to the next level. Matter of fact, the tariff he increased, which Biden administration later on kept it on, the same policy. And right now, there are three things. Coming to your previous question, I want to rebut on them. Right now, the Democrat Party not only overconfident based on that they are controlling the establishment since last 12 years. The second thing is this. The liberal media is shielding them. They are not doing enough vetting process of Kamala Harris right now. So that is one of the reasons. This is a tragedy with the democracy right now.
Why media is not challenging her? That is really surprising for me. There is no actual voter coming forward, talking to her, asking questions. There is no media. What kind of a debate and what kind of a campaign is this?
It is unfortunate reality that the media enterprise, which is not journalism anymore, they are trying to feed their own narrative to the voters. They want to run the White House, and CNN somehow, you see it, you open the CNN every day on a daily basis, and all you see is a Democrat propaganda. So that is a tragedy, and that's why the Democrat right now, the Kamala Harris is overconfident. You see the Michelle Obama even then came out of the crease and she said this is a black job. The White House, running the White House is a black job. Imagine about it if the Donald Trump say the same thing, that this is a white job, and how the media will behave. So the thing is this, unfortunately, democracy is in decline due to these reasons. And Kamala Harris and the Bidens and Obamas and all of them and Clintons, all of them, they're taking advantage of it. But let's see what happens. Seems like if the Donald Trump does not win this election, or Republicans don't win this election, in the future, American democratic values will be questionable. Very questionable.
Yeah, it was more, if I conclude it, people are of the opinion that the Democratic Convention was more of the words and less substance. Thank you so much, Dr. Hamid Khan, for joining us, and Mr. Saqib Tarar for joining us. This concludes this week's Epicenter. I'll see you next week.